Hello again. Since we are done with all the hairstyles, let's talk a little bit about optimizations, right? So let me just hide this head in here and let me let me apply all the modifiers by selecting everything, hit W on your keyboard, convert to mesh. This way every modifiers that the meshes have is gonna get applied, right? So I'll be joining everything, and right off the bat, as you can see, we've got some insane amount of polygons. I mean, it's not completely insane. It's about 16k faces, or you can say 33k tries, right? But there is still a little bit room for optimization. To do that, let's just see it on the texture mode. So for the optimization part, I use two techniques, right? Both of them are related to decimation. So select the object, the hair object, go into add modifier, hit decimate, right? And on the collapse, set it to some value like zero point 0.5 or maybe zero point 0.3, depending on how low you want to take it. So zero point 0.3 is like, it's a little bit too low, right? So I'll be just going with 0 0.5, right? And I'll be adding a triangulation modifier. So as you can see again, the tries in here, it's 16k, which is like half of the triangles that we had before. And if I look at it, right, in material mode, you can see it retains the shape and it retains the texture, right? So this is one way of doing it. The thing with using collapse is the triangulation that you're going to get are not really extremely clean, right? So if I go into and hit display wire, I mean it's clean, to be honest. It's not really bad, but there is just one more way of doing it, and that is through using planar, right? So what basically planar does, it let's say for example you have a hair card like this, right? And you have equal amount of spans, okay? And let's say for example the planar angle, the angle limit that you see right here, it's gonna select any length of that particular hair card which have, let's say, which have an angle offset which is greater or less than 5 degrees, right? It's gonna select that on every hair card and remove all the spans which comes under that 5 degrees, right? So let me just erase this real quick and I'm going to show you how it works. So I have disabled the triangulation modifier, and you can see the angle limit is of 5, right? So everything that comes underneath the angle limit of 5, it's deleting the edges from there. If I set it to an angle limit of 10, you can see more edges getting deleted, right? Again, the texture gets preserved though. So mostly a value of 5 or a value of 3 should just work fine, right? Yeah, but this way the triangle count will be a little bit more than using the collapse in that estimate modifier. As you can see, we have like 29k triangle count, which is pretty low for modern day AAA titles, right? But I mean, since we are talking about optimizations, right? Why not talk about like complete optimization? So yeah, using collapse, a value of 0 0.5, 16k, bit too low. I can go like 0 0.6, maybe 20k. That works completely fine. I'll be reapplying my triangulate modifier, and if I disable the wireframe and go into texture, you can see all the details that I had gets preserved. So if I duplicate it, I'm gonna just show you a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so this is without any kind of modifier, right? And this one is around 33k tries, and this one, let's convert it to mesh, this one is around 20k tries. So you are getting a difference of 13k tries, but you are not really losing anything, neither the texture and nor on the side of shapes. So yeah, that's about optimization. And next time we will be on the next clip, we will be looking at how to take these hairs and apply some good materials in Unreal Engine or maybe Marmoset. Right, material in Unreal Engine. Okay, so I haven't really created any new material for it, but I have used a pre-existing template, right? So how I did that is if I open up my Epic Games in here, if I go to Unreal Engine, library, and you can see all these downloaded categories, right? So basically what you want to do is select a Paragon asset. All of them are free in Unreal Store. So for me, I have selected Twin Blast, mostly because Twin Blast have got almost all of the almost every possible material that was used for characters in Unreal Engine, right? Not Unreal Engine, that were used for character in Paragon. So I have used Twin Blast. I've added it to my here project, right? And I'm using the material instance that was for Twin Blast. All I did was just replace the hair texture, right? So alpha, where you replace the Twin Blast alpha with your alpha, the depth map, which is basically the height map, the root map, which is basically you can say the height map with albedo, but if you see it, let me just open it up right here. The root map is basically a gradient on top of the vertex color map, right? Which have the roots darkened out and the tips whitened out, right? And the final one is unique hair value, which is the vertex color map. If you do not know what is vertex color map and how to make them, it's really simple. So basically, if I open up my ZBrush and I've already loaded up the high poly of the hair strands. So what I want to do is if I go in and hit poly group, where is it? Okay. If I go into poly group and hit auto groups, which was right here, it's gonna take a second because we've got an insane amount of polygons in here. So yeah, once you do that, okay, and then you can go poly group from poly paint, or maybe poly paint from poly groups. It's the reverse, right? So since we have different poly groups, we can go into poly paint and hit poly paint from poly groups, right? So it's gonna give a random color to every individual hair strand, but since they are already colored, we really want them to be black and white. To do that, you can go into adjust colors, right? And just hit the HSV intensity and just reduce the saturation of it. Uh, where do we do that? I guess it's somewhere around here. I guess it's this one. HSV saturation. Yeah. So if I reduce the saturation to 0 and hit OK, right? That didn't do anything. I wonder why. Okay. Again, I'm going to try adjust colors, reduce the saturation to 0 and hit OK. Yeah, yeah, there it does. I guess the previous one was masked. So if I go into shadeless, you can see the you can see the vertex color. You can see a different shade from black to white for every hair strand. Yeah, then you just export it with the polypaint and you bake the vertex color in X normal. That's basically how you create vertex color, right? Yeah, so you replace the vertex color, and after replacing everything, there is one change in particular that I really like to do. That is edge masking minimum, right? So what edge masking does is, if you look at a hair strand from a specific angle, if you have the default edge masking, you can see from the angle that we are looking at the hair card, the edge really gets softened, right? So if I set it to a value of 2, that pretty much gives me the hard edge feel, or you can say the thickness remains constant, right? So yeah, that's basically it, right? So I'm using this Paragon hair material instance, and I'm just replacing replacing the alphas, or you can say replacing the texture map with my specific texture map, and then I'm just applying it to a hair card that I have created, right? Also, you've got brightness, root color, roughness, and stuff which you can play with. Really, it's completely dependent on you. You can make some kind of redhead, uh, blue haired, suicide. Sorry about that. Anyways, but yeah, that's that's about it. Okay, don't report me. It was just a joke, please, for fuck's sake. Okay, so yeah, that's about the tutorial, guys. Yeah, if you like it, you can like, share, comment. Let me know what you think about this. And I won't really ask for subscription because I don't really regularly post on YouTube. But yeah, like subscribe if you want, so that you get notified whenever I post future videos. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for sticking in up to the end. I really hope that you learned something, that your knowledge for creating haircuts increased, and I really hope that you gained the confidence to at least start with your first haircut project, because I've seen people even struggling out of fear to start haircuts. And yeah, that's about it. All right, this is Vineet Kumar, and I'll be signing out, and I'll be seeing you in upcoming future tutorials. Peace out.